Hi, this is Jake for Lab4. So first, when we're working with an SoC, obviously we need to create a hardware design. If we want to output via HDMI, we need to create some hardware pipeline to take the frames stored in our memory and convert them into data that then can be outputted via HDMI. So to do this, this is our processing system that's going to have all of our C code running. Then everything around it is our hardware design, right? So we use this VDMA block, which is a video direct memory access block, to take 32-bit data out of our DDR, which is going to be our frames that we write in our C code. And then this gets converted through the AXI subset converter and then the AXI video out to the RGB to DVI, which finally converts this. Like this kind of does a 24-bit RRGGBB format. Then this converts it to the final TMDS signal that we can connect directly, to the HDMI pins that are in our constraints file. Then this is obviously just for our switches, so we can switch between frames. Yeah, so that's what this design does, and then we need to write C code that actually stores those frames in memory, and then can also check for our switch input and switch between those frames using pointers. So to get to that, I'll just open up Vitis really quick. Here we can see that I added some stuff. This is for our GPIO objects for our switches. And here's our masks and our channels for the LEDs. This was originally in the code, right? So we initialize everything. We initialize with the number of frames, which is in a different header file. I had to change this to 3 to obviously comply with the lab directions where we need to add a frame, right? So you need to change this to 3 and then recompile your bit stream with the VDMA IP core set to 3. And then to create another frame, I just added another object here, obviously change the hardware design to support this object, and then to change colors, all we need to do is fill these frames in memory with the same number, the same value of specific color, right? So it's RRGGBB, so all zeros would be black, all Fs would be white, and then right here you can see, since we're only illuminating the red channel, this is a dark red. Then to read from the switches, we just do the same thing we did in the last lab, where we can use this XGPIO discrete read on our XGPIO object, and then I mask the bottom 3 bits, and depending on which one's written, I change the display with the display change frame helper function. Yeah, so thank you, and there's more detailed information in my write-up.